Hello, good people. Welcome back here. Thank you for always being here, for all the calls and beacons we've made to you during the week that you answered positively to. We want to appreciate every one of you from all walks of life, those who have been supporting the movement intra-professionally and extra-professionally, and those little percentage who think that what we are clamoring for is not necessary. We still appreciate variety is the spice of life, and I want to appreciate all around the world, especially those in Nigeria who have been doing all those peaceful walks around, peaceful protests. We appreciate you, and I pray that the good God will reward all your labors of love on this beautiful profession of ours. Nmcn of Lagos State, your interview was quite interesting, inspirational, and it was eye-opening. Thank you so very much for being very outspoken against that circular. Honestly, all those things that were brought on by our leaders, thank you for dissecting them with the interviewers. You did a brilliant job there, and there have been so many people going outside there to talk with people, to talk with significant others on what is going on and on why we are not happy with the circular. Everything or most of the things written in the circular, we've been very unhappy about many of those things there. And thank you all for adding your voices in the diaspora. You that seemingly not even concerned, like not directly affected with what the Nmcn leaders are projecting, are bringing on for the possible future of nursing profession in Nigeria. Like they are projecting that to start on March 1st. Yeah, we have been saying strong no, very strong no's to their position, and that is what we still continue to say. And to NAM chairmen, NAM chairpersons at state and federal government level, appreciation to you all. But then may I call our attention to some things that have been quite unbearable in what has been going on. Before I move to that, appreciate Rufai Oseni for adding his voice to. Thank you to Lafaye. You too, you've been a very brilliant and fantastic voice in fighting against inequalities in the society. The doctors are friends in the professions and other professionals that have been supporting us every time now and then in this particular fight, honestly. And the vast people of Nigeria, this is actually the very first agitation of Nigerian nurses that I will see the whole nation putting their weight at our backs. And yeah, we are promising that we will not disappoint you, and hopefully trusting in our leader that they will not disappoint you. So we leave it into their hands. This is what I want to say. The issue at hand, nursing profession is like a people of a particular community, and there was a bird in that community that the leader of the community called the people of that environment that, okay, I have this board in my hand, which is nursing profession in Nigeria, and we have the leaders holding the boards in their hands. And so the whole society and the nurses all around Nigeria and in the diaspora, there are nurses, are the spectators. We are the audience that leader they called in those days. And now they called us. And they were now our leaders now addressing us that, okay, I have this board in my hand, and they are closing the hands and then asking, do you think this board is alive, or do you think it's dead? And so the community people started thinking, and so a little child came out and just said, okay, our leader, we know that if we say that the bird is alive, you may want to prove to us that we are wrong, because that's actually the main possible thing you want to call us into, to tell us that what we are saying is wrong. So if we tell you that the bird is alive, you might just squeeze that bird before opening your hands, and then you show us dead bird. And if we say that this bird is dead, because you pre-plan to prove us wrong, you just open your hands to show us that the bird is alive, with squeezing into death. So we're not going to tell you any of these. All we're going to let you know is that the bird is in your hand. And so that is the body's nursing profession in the hands of our nursing leaders, in the hands of Alhaji Farouk Abubakar and his cohorts. Nursing profession Nigeria is in your hands. So we're not going to leave you any option of whether the bird is alive or the bird is not alive, so that you don't just squeeze life out of the bird and leave it dead. Prove your love to nursing profession. We want you to prove your allegiance to nursing profession at a time like this, because when I listened to what our Alhaji said, at some point it seemed that he had zeroed up his mind, and it seemed that this thing is not just coming to nursing profession alone, because he said they had meetings in so many areas. So it seems these guys are prepared to serve all Nigerians breakfast in all different professions. They've prepared, they've pre-planned to serve Nigerians breakfast. Maybe sour one, maybe bitter one, maybe cold one, maybe one that is tasteless. We don't know what they prepare to serve, but it doesn't seem like from his body language that they've prepared something palatable to put on the table for any of the professions that they've planned. They've actually planned many professions. So our leader agreed with having their profession being used as the guinea pig. It's very, very uncomfortable. But we still leave the bird of nursing profession in your hands and see whether you're going to squeeze life out of it, or just look at if you may end up not squeezing life out of it and presenting us with a live nursing profession. We'll be looking at you. The events of the next few days as they unfold will showcase to us what you've pre-planned for nursing. Will tell us your love for nursing. Will tell us whether you are in this profession to make the profession buoyant, or you are there to choke life out of the profession. We are hopeful that you will do the best things to make nursing an enviable profession that it's always been. That being said, I could remember that our Alhaji said that Nigerian nurses are well paid, and he talked about 135,000. And in my head, I was trying to see what cadre of nurses are earning that 135,000. How many years of experiences have they had? How many years of devotions have they given to nursing profession before they are earning 135,000? And then I started reasoning, okay, if somebody is earning 135,000 a nurse and they have to buy one bag of rice for 70,000, oh Jesus. And my friend was telling me that if they want to fuel their car per week, they will be spending 18,000, and the distance from that person's home to workplace isn't up to 10 minutes, and so they have to spend 18,000 to fuel their car. That's 88,000. They have to pay for rent, and I'm sure some places are paying as much as 5,000 for rent per month. Maybe those places that are paying cheaply just add it to what we have there, to 88,000, add 5,000 to that, that's 92,000. So they are not even left with 50,000. If the person is a tithe payer, remove 13,500 from 135,000. Oh goodness me. I could see that the person who said those words is not feeling the pain of Nigerian nurses. They just came around to say so many juicy things to the people who have possibly sent them to say those words to gain the support of people of like mind. But for us that are feeling the heat, we're not going to support such outlook to it. We will not support it. We will not support it. We will not support it. So we are still imploring you to still go back and have a deeper thinking, deeper reasoning on what the reasons that we called you out for what you were doing or what you were about doing, and then start adjusting things for the positive benefits of Nigerian nurses. Verification should be done and should be timely done. You don't need to have people work for 2 years before you start verifying them. And look at it, if someone's been to the universities and they've gone for internship, then they've gone for NYSC, and you still want to add 2 years more to that. How do you feel about it? And what is professional verification? It is not about jackpine or migration alone. Someone who's in the country might want to do that verification to go to, or maybe to further their university education, and the university is requesting for their professional verification. So you put a pause on them. You hold them down for 2 years before you respond to that. If someone who's not a nurse, who's not a graduate, have said such words, I would have just possibly felt that maybe they were not brilliant enough. But this is my boss now. I know he's been an intelligent and articulate person, so I just want to take it as one of those occasional goofs around practices. So let's just assume that that was just a mistake, because I won't expect him to think that verification is about migration alone, and so people's verification should be held for 2 years. I mean, people should not verify for anything for 2 years. Like, some people have gone to the universities, by the time they were graduating, they were no longer within the years they could go for NYSC, and some just want to launch straight to their masters. Then you will say, no, you cannot do that masters, because some masters, some institutions offering masters, we want you to verify your professional certificate before they offer you the admissions. So you not want to say, no, you cannot verify you until you've gone to work for 2 years. And if they've graduated from school like 35 or 36, then you make them 37 or 38 or 39 before they go for masters. How kind is that? How kind do you think that is from your heart of heart? And leaders need to understand so many other things. And you say 6 months everywhere around the world. Verification is not taking 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And you've digitalized the practice. Please, you've digitalized verification for Pete's sake. Can you just do verification for us 24 hours, 48 hours? Shikenan. And also, you should also, we've tabled the issue of CEO-ish in front of you. We can't do that. You won't ask us to go and be doing good standing with CEOs. That is your responsibilities. If we need practice place references, we know how to go about it. You don't have to start troubling yourself about that. But from all we've heard from some of these are leaders, it does seem that they are just doing those things. They don't even know the essence. They don't understand what those things are. So please. And who told you guys that many of us are even keen on going everywhere around the world if you make us comfortable? Give us protection at workplaces. Place us at a very good level. Fight for us. You talked about salary and wages and all those things Push your profession forward. There were days that there were just little disparities between what doctors were earning and what nurses were earning. What happened till such a gap that is almost impossible to bridge now came into it? And how would you then still be flexing muscles on the nurses that are facing the heat every time now and then? I listened to our Alhaji, and honestly, I pray and hope next time he comes on board, he's going to do better to make things calm on people's mind. All he's done in those interviews, personally, I'm not completely impressed, but yeah. And I saw what Shetima wrote. I really could not finger point anything in that message, but let me take it that it's just warming up. So I know it's not going to disappoint. All around the world, the pressure groups are the ones that help in situations like this. But this time around, I could remember a doctor somewhere was saying this kind of thing will not go down with ARD and NMA. It is, the ball is in your court now. Let's see whether this is going down well with you. If you haven't received brown or white envelopes, then I will assume that it will not go down well with you. But if you now present these things to us in the nearest few days that you are happy with them, then we will start assuming that you've been bought. It is left to you to show us that you are preserving your dignities by not selling nurses out. Please think on all these things deeply, and hopefully we're going to enjoy what will come out from you in the next few days. And to all beautiful nurses outside there, going outside, bloggers, talking about this thing, appreciation to you. I've seen Mr. Olubayo said a few things about this. I've seen Nurse Adekola said some things about this. I've seen that Niger girl. So many people have been putting all the weight behind, we've been putting our weight behind ourselves, supporting ourselves. And hopefully, some good things will come out of this. Appreciation to Nigerians, honestly. Now, if this very only time that Nigerians, 90-something% Nigerians are supporting nurses' request, if you sell us out, posterity will judge you. But we are believing in you that you're not going to allow anything to deface you in this particular work. Nothing is going to deface you. You receive the grace to be truthful. You receive the grace to be honest. You receive the grace to defend this profession now. That's all we are praying for you. But if you do not allow grace to work in you, history will not forget you. If you do not allow things to work out right for nurses at this particular point in time, everything we ask you in the nearest future